Click.
And now we wait for the tubes to decide whether or
Ooh.
not we will have a live show.
Already heard a boop.
Rohit's already asking, War stream? Dar stream, we're live.
I don't know, man. Are we live? It's kind of terrifying.
Yep. Absolutely live.
Oh, yeah. 95.5, the cat, bringing you all the latest, whatever random...
It's not Kook and the Racist Badger, that's for Saturdays.
Right. Nope. See, my brain instantly gave me 3 names for our show, Pedro, and I had to hit the void button on all 3 of those in sequence. How's everyone doing?
Hey,
It's another beautiful Wednesday. We are just doing the well, it's the pre-show. We've kind of got our pre-shows out of the way. Getting ready to sit back, relax, talk Linux. It's kind of sexy.
There's some Linux, there's some hardware, much to Strata's chagrin, but there's going to be some hardware.
Well, it's hardware, man. It's open source hardware.
Yeah. Well, some of it is.
Just gotta be careful, man, or Stallman will come busting through your windows with his katanas.
Yeah, no, you do not want a wooden anything near those katanas.
Oh, I just saw the post person go by. I hope she got the note that I left her. That was because I can see her now because I'm down here.
Mm-hmm.
And just out of the sliver where she had to force feed my mailbox a package yesterday. And kind of bluffed her, but I can kind of see her. I just wrote this, you know, my doorbell records you every time. That's all I wrote, because they have one of those Ring doorbell thingies.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think I've set up an account on. It was given to me, so...
It could do that. Not saying it does, but it could do that.
Right. We assume it possesses this functionality due to the packaging. It was like my only yoink at a big box store because the lady was at a display and she was packing them up. She had the demo unit. I was like, what are you going to do with that one? She's like, you want it? Yoink.
Let's see. 306 bat sectors. That's a drive that you use for cold storage at that point.
No, I don't even blink at 500 bad sectors.
I mean, if they're contiguous, you could probably just partition them off. But yeah, no, 306 is sizable.
I'd say don't put anything terribly important on it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, then again, I have everything... I'm not saying that. I have stuff duplicated reasonably well.
Yeah. Western Digital, 10 months in use. Well, if you dropped it, or dropped the thing that it was in, 300, that's like the laser going a bit, whoops, shouldn't have been writing when that happened.
Well, I mean, it's going to get real interesting when the microwave technology gets unleashed.
On the vape train now. I've been on the vape train for about a month. And it was the cheapest vape pen that Tesco had at the time.
This is actually a really big one, but I have big hands, so...
You have Venn hands.
This is a dual mod.
at least get a decent battery mod. Yeah, see, that would involve me getting into the whole vape mod scene. And yeah, no.
Yes.
This one works. When this one breaks, I'll probably buy another one because they're 10 pounds. So,
Well, I mean, get one that like lasts a little bit longer.
I mean, this one's still working fine. I dropped it once. Not on the carpet, because I know that dropping it on the carpet doesn't count. But yeah, I did drop it on the hardwood floors on the kitchen, and it still works. Didn't even crack anything, so yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, mine's a rocking dual 18650s, but I'm downsizing. I'm getting a single battery one eventually.
How does Flanders? Oh, it's the Summon Flanders Battlefields Graveyard. Okay.
Cody, how many coats do I have? That's an odd question. Are you only allowed to own one coat where you live?
Admittedly, I only brought the one with me.
Actually, Steve-O, yeah, we were talking about that before we went live. Yeah, it's higher than the bid sniping stuff is too much. It went. I kind of went for a medium bid on it, and yeah.
There we go. Turbo Brad got sexy Flanders.
It's not necessarily cold. It's just there's a permanent chill down here because I exist here. This is my new domain.
Venn's that guy.
Bring the cold. Listen, man, I mean, it's a basement. Giving us the square footage. And I'm not wearing like any... The hat I'm just wearing because I've only gotten one good use out of it.
You gotta justify that purchase?
Right. I gotta justify my $4 purchase. So I'm going to wear it on 2 shows. It's coming right off after the show. But, yeah, this is a windbreaker. This is a windbreaker that's made for not peeling your skin organ off if you lay one down. I wonder if that movie holds up. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't think we want Chatbot insulting Strider in the middle of the week. Let's save that for Saturday when everyone else is doing it. Oh yeah, Tesco has the groceries to your door subscription thing, which you can only order from it if you actually subscribe. And I'm pondering, I'm doing the maths on how much money I spend a week, whether or not that would be like justifiable.
For what? Going to the grocery?
Yeah.
No, you have to have a structured system to get you out of the house, is what I'm saying.
Ah. Well, I have the NHS to get me out of the house. Every morning, 7 a.m., we're walking.
Earthier, and you do have access to our show notes, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
There's a Nike. Oh yeah, I did make that meme. I forgot to download it. Hold
You made a meme.
on. Yeah, I went to memegenerator.com.
Oh, you rebel. You are so metal. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Right there on the home folder, so it gets on my gears when I open up the file manager. Yeah. It's that one you mentioned yesterday that someone should totally
you
do.
made a meme out of the thing I created.
Yes, it's technically Venn's meme.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing that at work, and Dave kind of looked over to my screen. What are you doing?
An open source Google Hangout desktop app. Oh, kind of like what am I using? Pigeon?
It's open source right up until you get to Google's API.
I just
But hey,
like the Google Plus plugin for Pigeon because it's got such a next level jank way of getting your OAuth key.
yeah.
I mean, it's delightful.
But yeah, no, if there's one good way of giving someone a virus or a Trojan or a worm or any kind of malware on Linux is to upload a compromised Flatpak to the Pirate Bay, for instance.
Well, there's also the type of people that would download traditionally. It's like, this is where I get my games because I'm a pirate. I'm like, no, dude, you're just cheap. All right, just admit it. All right, I don't have a problem with whatever. Okay, and they're typically going to be Windows users who's like, I installed 6Arch, bro. And so as soon as it
I know how to read a wiki.
As soon as it pops up asking for the root password, they're not going to blink a damn eye.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to type it right in. And that sounds insane because you're the type of person that listens to this pre-show. But
you're here, you're watching us, you're awesome.
Arch is great, man. I love Arch. Arch will actually teach you something about your desktop PC because it will go wrong eventually.
It will teach you exactly how everything related to your box will break.
Worst case scenario, you will get good at the Googles.
Oh, you'll get real good. But then again, even Linux Mint is good for that. If you're just coming from Windows and you want, okay, what's this Linux thing? Google's your friend. Use it. Linux Nuru! Good job. That was a good pun.
Oh, I don't know. And then we still have people who's like, oh, if you want to switch your desktop invite, oh, you need to install a different distribution. This spin will give you that desktop invite. Again, these people actually exist.
Oh, yeah.
Like, which spin did you download? The one they're all based off of? That one?
You can find those people. Just go to Linux_gaming and click through the comments on any of the threads asking, how do I Linux, brah?
Oh, that you mean Linux Master Race? Hey, man, you gotta look at it like this.
Linux Master Race has grown sort of self-aware.
You gotta look at it like this. At least people are asking questions and using Linux. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm. That is probably the silver lining to all of that.
Narla, no, Google is not your friend, but it's awesome. I mean, we've effectively all dated a Google before. You know it's bad for you, and it's up to no good. But
oh, look, Android phone. Oh, look. Another Android phone.
Window manager, typically black box.
If you just want to use the window manager, yeah, one of the boxes will be your go-to. Or i3 if you're one of those people. Oh, awesome. Use awesome if you really want to piss off Iculus.
Rat poison.
Yeah, you could use rat poison as just the window manager, yeah.
Well, you see, Mr. Red Google's got good drugs. That's the problem. I don't know. I mean, it's different for different people. For me, we're semi-public people. We kind of have to be.
We are internet infamous.
So, yeah, I mean, most of my stuff's out there anyway. Might as well get some use out of it.
And now I know that Nathan watches our videos because he said, "Oh yeah, I saw your video of the tuxedo."
We got to do this. Who's Nathan?
He's one of the Circo guys that does most of the second and third line support tickets for the NHS.
Now, say back in your head what you just told me and go, how the hell was anybody supposed to know that?
I've mentioned him and Dave a couple of times.
You mentioned Dave. I've had to learn about Dave because we're learning about Pedro's coworkers for some reason. This is a new development on.
I have coworkers now. Yes, this is news.
I feel bad because I can just imagine them in their office or their cubicle and Pedro coming around the corner. He's like, "Friend."
No, we are all sitting in the same quote-unquote cubicle. I'm facing the exact same wall that they're facing, so we're right next to each other. Because I'm the first line support, so everyone who logs a call comes to me.
Honest question: how do they spend that much time without hitting you?
Turns out they have the exact same kind of mentality that we do, especially on Saturdays. Except it's in the workplace.
I would have hit you by now.
Well, they haven't hit me yet. But
I mean, like, in all honesty, a couple of times just to get my point across, nothing serious. But there's a couple of times where they probably suplexed you. Maybe did a little
they
dance.
keep messing with me, and it's awesome because then they leave because they need to go do something, and I mess with them.
He messes with them by he makes some tea.
See, that would actually mess with them because they prefer coffee. Just make him one of the, because we share, like, that particular room is also shared with some of the people who work. It's not like human resources, but it's almost, and most of them are retired nurses. So they've seen all kinds of crap, and they don't give a damn. So every now and again, they too will mess with Dave and Nathan because Dave and Nathan like to go around messing with people. So yeah, no, it's actually a really awesome work environment, and I have no illusions. I got really lucky with that one.
Alright, so I think I'm going to...
Oh yeah, I keep saying don't rely on Microsoft. Just don't. And then my boss goes, but yeah, we don't like having a single point of failure, and you're the only one who actually understands Linux in this organization. It's like, oh, so your one single point of failure is Microsoft? Really?
Well, you don't want to become the single point of failure.
Yeah, I've been that.
And also,
previously.
kids, don't be that person. Don't walk into a small shop, medium shop, especially the NHS, and go, I'm going to Linux all the things here, because...
Oh, I didn't do that at all.
I'm not accusing you of doing that. I'm trying to finish a damn sentence.
Alright.
Because if you leave, if Pedro was doing that, which he's not. It's when you leave, they're effed. And they're not going to get a competent system admin for the same price they had you.
Filthy Portuguese immigrant. Good luck with that.
I know it's going to be on your hello, my name is name tag on our first convention. I just don't know if I can fit it all on there.
No, that is my go-to self-deprecation is I'm a filthy immigrant. And that's how whenever I'm giving my opinion about something, it's like, I'm a filthy immigrant, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, inertia, that sounds great unless you're a dick of an employee and you're a bad employee ensuring their job security, then you're screwing over the company.
Yeah.
Like I said, small company.
And maybe I will stop being a tempee, and I'll actually get the permanent position. There's an interview for that tomorrow, and I'm kind of scratching at all the bits. Just like, please don't fuck it up.
Do the fun thing. Maybe it'll be if it's more than one person who's like, because sometimes I might have used to do this. I would always bring in 2 or 3 people when I was interviewing somebody.
The review panel, yes.
Yeah, just to screw with them because I'm a dick. I am. I don't pretend to be something different. And they would, but this is a good thing. I learned this because somebody pulled it on me. He looked right at me. He's like, "Oh no," because I had brought in 2 TSRs out of production. He's like, "I only brought enough money to bribe one person." That impressive. That I'm not saying that alone get him the job, but.
Well, I know one of the people who will be in that interview is my boss, and the other person is someone whom I've been in talks with, especially when recruitment was doing one of their events to get more people working for the NHS. So I talked to him a lot, so I know those 2 will be there, but I don't know who else will.
What's with the music in the background? Because it's not dead silence, that's what.
Yeah. Don't talk. Keep that running through your head. See, when in interviews, I know to only answer questions that I am asked. That will also keep me from saying things I probably shouldn't.
I mean, I've almost got the supercut together of all the really horrible things you've said over the past 5 years that I've recorded.
I hope you also have a good one of Jordan's and maybe yours.
Oh, mine's wiped from the internet. I cut those out of every show. I'm gonna burn you 2 to the ground one day, just to watch it burn.
Well, as long as you also have Jordan, so I'm not the only one, that's fine.
Right.
It's like context is important. So, yeah.
Okay. Let me go hit the head and we will get underway. It's almost tres 30. How do you say 30 in Portuguese?
Trinta.
Trinta?
Trinta.
Spell it.
Trintaa. Trinta.
All right.
Because in Portuguese, we don't roll the R's all that much. We just kind of let them slide out.
What you got? Spain's got enough problems right now. You don't need to be picking on them. All right.
Spain's had a few problems for a long time. Oh yeah, there is some blinking going on with the webcam. I wasn't looking at the return video, so yeah. Oh, the Portuguese. I had Nathan pull that one on me. So, do you have geese in Portugal? Yes. So, are they Portuguese? Admittedly, that got a bigger chuckle out of me than I had intended. Yeah, no, the Portuguese. It's just one A. Trinta. Pumpkin spice pants available here. Yes, we also have the Portugals. They sound like proper goals, so I guess that's good. There is no Venn. He went off camera, and now you can't see him anymore. He doesn't exist, as far as the internet's concerned. There we go. See? Turbo bread is actually useful sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Arthur, I'm kind of curious to see what exactly it is you're typing down.
What are you kids up to?
Well, there was Arthurian and Linux Nuru trying to mess with the Turbo Brad.
You're not gonna wear the bot down. I hate to break it. You might, but
See, I know what Kurva means, and Turbobot fails. It's always the first thing you learn in a foreign language. It's the swear words. Ah, there you go.
I don't know. It's been so long. It's hard to remember. It's like, yes, there was a time where you did not know the English.
Someone doesn't like Poland. Let's not get political here.
After you just took a dump on Spain.
Technically, you did that.
No, I pointed it out.
I might have implied it, but you brought it up.
I'm surprised you didn't like take your shirt off and it was like independence for Catalonia and
you know, if we were to get political, maybe I'd say something along those lines. Just to piss off the Spanish. I know we have some Spanish people that watch the show. You guys, I don't mind, because you are the ones who actually understand English. It's those people, those who outright refuse to try and understand anything, even Portuguese, which is just very similar. Similar to the point where conversational Portuguese sounds perfectly understandable to conversational Spanish, because I've had that conversation many times. So, cut the crap.
all right. Let's do this.
Yep.
All right. That looks good. Okay. down. We don't need Creative Commons metal music kicking in halfway through. Well, we might. I mean, we will probably just take a break from the show and be like, all right, let's give this a listen. Oh, did you get Observer downloaded?
Yep.
Okay, we'll talk about it after the show. That's not meant to sound ominous.
You start.
So, I was like, wait, didn't I put one in there where I had to make sure I said it or it'd be weird? There it is. Okay, yeah, the first one. All right, and coming up this week, Pedro reviews a laptop.
Linux goes mobile.
Mint embraces Flatpaks.
And Microsoft did something cool?
All those plus your emails. Hey, look, it's another great day for Linux, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays. I'm Venn Stone here with Pedro Mateus, sitting back, relaxing, taking that midweek break just to have a chat about some of the nifty fun things. Can we say fun things going on in the world of Linux?
Fun's probably a stretch. I mean, someone is getting a kick out of it, that's for sure. But
I always get a kick out of it, man. It's a learning experience. We wouldn't really call ourselves a news show. I mean, it's like all the news without any of that pesky accuracy. Because we're basically you. We're just taking a look. Maybe we found some stuff that you would find interesting. And what's been going on, man? Is it finally wintertime on the island?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Actually, it's been getting warmer over these past couple of days. I'm wearing my t-shirt and I'm sweating. So, it's actually been pretty warm. But they do say that the temperatures will drop over the weekend by like 5 Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
So that's significant.
Yeah, I got up this morning to go running and it was 6. So...
It hit 20 here today.
Oh, dude, it's 14 right now, and that's nice and warm. But enough talking about the weather, because something that everyone's taken a stab at, I guess I should say, and Samsung is going to throw their hat in the ring. That's right.
Yeah.
Man. Linux is coming to Select Galaxy devices via DeX. What is DeX? Well, it's the mythical device that everyone's tried to make so far. No one really has. It's the dock for your smartphone, the boom, instant desktop. But DeX, the DeX station, if you want to call it, it is going to let you run Linux as an app. Basically, theoretically, I guess you could say any distribution that you wanted to run, you could. And they do say Android Authority. We'll have all this in our show notes. But it's not ready like all the other ones. Are you excited about this?
Much like you, I am on that boat that wants to see this happen. I want to have that experience that you come home and you take your phone out of your pocket, you dock it into a place, boom. You got yourself a workstation, good to go, ready to rock. That's it. But we're not really there yet, and for all the attempts that everyone's been making, Samsung being the latest, there are still some shortcomings. And Samsung's, to be fair, it is basically all you have right now is that render that you see on Android Authority, and the DeX application itself is meant to be an application geared towards developers. And then you have the DeX station, which is what you see rendered there, which looks like a screen, not too dissimilar from my 2 screens, go figure, with one of those Mac-style keyboards and a little wireless mouse. It sounds really awesome. I really want that to happen, and if Samsung is the one to do it, well, I won't personally like it, but hey, someone did it, so chances are there will be some more people trying it, and someone is bound to get it right. I just hope it's not Samsung that does get it right.
Well, I mean, it could be, could not be. Just the entire concept, I think, when you sit back thinking about it, is even the fact of having to plug it into a dock is something that will eventually be going away. It's just going to be there, and mobiles will definitely be powerful enough. In just 10 years from now, hashtag battery technology. I don't know. I mean, it could be a thing, but then you end up with a dock and a bunch of wires, and it's not.
To be fair, they only have the one wire there. It's the one that plugs from the little docking unit to the monitor. Everything else is wireless.
But what I do like about this is if they roll it out, being able to run Linux as an app and installing whatever distribution you want for that one Linux app that you want. And ARM is definitely currently is powerful enough where you can probably get away with it reasonably. So fun to see that. Thought we'd give it a mention. But Pedro, something that came out, well, just the fact that it came out kind of floored us. And one of our Ohio correspondent, Atomic, I guess we can call him, he did a review for us of the one he received, and it wasn't complete rubbish. Was the GPD Win, and they're going for round 2.
GPD Pocket was the one that Atomic reviewed, and you may want to go back a month or so in the Linux Weekly Little Wednesdays, and you'll see the video that we're talking about. But Atomic got himself a GPD Pocket back in the day, and I will be the first one to admit that I expected that Indiegogo campaign to fail miserably. But turns out it came out, and now they have a little bit of a prototype on display for the new GPD Win. Now, the GPD Win line, they already had the first one out a few years back, and it was a portable gaming console that ran a full version of Windows or Linux if you were crazy enough to try and install that on there. But it worked. The controls are your standard A, B, X, Y with the 2 analog knobs and a D-pad. So that's what you sort of expect coming from, something that's geared at gaming. The keyboard looks to be a bit crappy. But
come on, be fair. I mean, if you're shoving any type of handheld keyboard, it's going to be just junk.
Yeah, it's going to be like those old Blackberries that held the full QWERTY keyboard. That's probably what you're going to be expecting.
Hey man, but people still buy Blackberries for that reason. Some people just say you can't type on glass. You learn, man. One of the things with this is they are upgrading from their old Atom to that Core M3. So
it's an M3Y. So you're still looking at a little bit of a loss in terms of performance, but you gain a lot when it comes to the power consumption. So it's not going to be as powerful as an i3, but it's going to be better than the Atoms.
It's going to be better than the Atoms, and it's almost to the point where you start thinking, I can get Steam crammed on this thing.
Of course you can.
It'll be as ridiculous. I have a quad-core Bay Trail x86 tablet. It was like one of those Windows 10 things I just bought on a lark, and it runs Steam. So I think I can still play some games with its integrated Intel video. This is neat. Did they say anything about the price point?
Not right now. They basically all they did was unveil the prototype, but chances are we will probably see either an announcement that yes, it's coming out, or look, we're doing an Indiegogo campaign for this one as well, which my money, as it is right now, probably be on the latter, but who knows? Maybe they actually got enough sales out of the GPD Pocket to say, look, the Win 2 is not going to crowdfunding, and it's instead just going to be released like a real respectable computer, handheld as it may be.
Well, I mean, it could be, and this is kind of, I don't want to put this gently as how I want to put it, because the Pyra?
Oh, the Dragon Pyra.
Everyone knows what we're talking about. The one that was kind of like this, a little more boxy, looked like an older version of Game Boy. It was like $9,000. I'm exaggerating only slightly.
It was the ARM-based one. It's been around for so long.
Not to dwell on it, but I mean, that was definitely niche, and the people who love them, and they will say disparaging remarks about your mother if you say something bad about that device. But going into production the first time, it's kind of interesting to see that there was enough demand to justify, all right, let's come back and give this a refresh. Because that's what this looks like, is definitely more of a refresh than a full-on, here's a brand new device. Right. And they did say, instead of a 5.5, it looks like, because somebody went all beautiful mind in that embedded YouTube video with measuring out. It looks like it's a 6-inch screen instead of 5.5, so it's got that going for it.
Yeah, it is slightly bigger, but then again, that also means a better experience while you're trying to hold it.
Quite possibly. Little tiny devices like this, useless for me. Sorry.
But you have Venn hands, yes.
It's terrifying. So, somebody sent us a laptop. Like, what is this, like the third laptop?
Yep, this is the third one.
They don't learn. They just keep coming. And Pedro took a look at it, man. It is the Infinity Book Pro 13. You know it's a Linux laptop because look, can we stop?
It's got tux on the keyboard.
Can we stop using, hey, I run Linux, everyone uses this as their first avatar icon? I'm guilty of it. It was on our original shows. I'm just saying, learn from my mistakes. Tell me about it. I've never heard of it.
Well, it is the actual unit is based on the Clevo NB130U or N130BU. I always get confused. But yeah, it's very similar to another one which also exists on the market, which I will not mention by name because they've ignored all my emails up to this point, so F them. But yeah, no, Tuxedo did not ignore my emails. In fact, when they sent me an email, they said, yeah, we'd already thought about getting in touch with you guys. We just didn't really know what to send you. So I told them, send us the desktop or the laptop that you're most proud of. And they delivered. Not now. They do have the same Clevo based thing that most of every other Linux reseller does, like Antroware, so on and so forth. But what they do is they put a very customized version of Ubuntu, whichever desktop environment you want, and they sent me that packed with their version of Ubuntu, which is actually amazing. I thought I was going to go in, and since they let me keep the laptop for a month, I thought I was going to go in and I would just make it run better and have the battery last longer. Well, I made it run slightly better, marginally, barely, and when it came to the battery life, they curb stomped me. Very much so. They pretty much put me back in my place. So yes, this is a laptop that, even though the hardware is nothing new, when it comes to the software, they did a really good job. Also, just a quick mention, keyboard, not terrible. I guess that's good.
I don't know, man. I thought you hated any and all chiclet keyboards.
I do. By definition, I do, but this one has just long enough throw at the keys to feel not as bad, and it is sturdy. It is a sturdy keyboard, so you actually do feel like you can smack on it as much as you want, and it's not going to pop a cap at any point.
So, weight-wise, what does it feel like?
It's very light. It's 1.3 kilos. That's about the same weight as my 10-inch netbook. Mm-hmm. It's very thin. It's very portable. If I carried it around with me a couple of times, I put it in my man bag, so to speak. Don't take that one out of context. And no, I at one point I was like, oh, did I forget the laptop somewhere? And I reached back. No, it's still there. Wow, that's light. So yeah, it is very much a laptop that you can carry around, and it's got that aluminum finish, except for the bezel around the screen, which is plastic. That was one of my biggest gripes with this one. It's like, really? Plastic? Everything else is aluminum.
But the entire main shell is made out of aluminium, correct?
Yes, aluminium. Since I technically live in the UK, aluminium, yes.
You're going to get beat down in the street with hugs. Not violence, but very impactful hugs. That's good to see. So what are we looking at as configured? How many wet, stinky caches or dry line
Quite a
pounds?
few.
Yeah.
As configured with the i7-7500U and the M.2 SSD, this particular laptop will run you for 1,260 euros or 1,480 something US dollars, or in and around 1,130 pounds, which, if you remember what I said about the Slimbook, is that for that price point, I expect at least 8 hours of battery life when you're actually doing things. The Slimbook didn't deliver, but this one did. In fact, it did so on a much smaller battery. That's how far the software optimizations go. They did a really good job with it.
So
Kudos, Tuxedo.
you think it's just a good idea to... Not gonna lie, I've definitely told people, like, step one of getting a pre-built, wipe it. Is the battery life worth...
Well, chances are most of you, if you do end up getting one, are going to do that. But if you're not, and you just want to buy something that works with Linux out of the box, and you don't want to have to worry about it at all, this will give you performance and battery life up the wazoo with little to no concerns. And yeah, it's I like this one. Go figure.
All right, let's talk about something exciting, but I'm just kidding. Flatpaks and Ubuntu. There's a bug that I tried to reproduce.
Not very important, apparently.
Apparently not, man. It's a confirmed bug, but the importance is very low. This guy was having an issue installing...
This guy being Popey.
Pope. Never heard of the guy. Never heard of him.
Alan Pope.
No, I don't know. Maybe we can get somebody on from Canonical one day to tell us who he is. Wasn't able to get it up installed. I followed through this. I was not able to reproduce this because this is downloading the Flatpak through the browser. Browser didn't know what to do with it. I mean, it couldn't figure it out. But then again, I clicked on it, and of course, if you have the what is it? The GNOME software plugin. It's like, boop, okay, it opens up the GNOME software. That loaded, gave me an install thing, did it, no issue whatsoever. I'm not running into any issues on 1704 with Flatpaks, installing them from FlatHub, but every now and then I will get a Flatpak that's just packaged bad. It won't install. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there's bound to be some of that now that we're moving closer and closer to the whole universal packages thing. There are going to be people who don't know how to package them, and they will break. But the interesting thing with Popey's issue is that Martin Wimpress also jumped in on this thread at one point and said, yeah, if I install the Flatpak plugin for the GNOME Software Center, it works. So Popey tried to do that, and it wouldn't work for him, and there are a few other issues, and yes, the bug has been confirmed. But then, right there at the end, you see that the importance went from undecided to low.
So are you trying to say that's the real story here?
Yes, it is.
Bringing you the dirt, the real story at Canonical. Yeah, this is a team.
Real story. It's not a conspiracy at all.
No. Flatpaks have worked perfectly, swimmingly with Ubuntu. I've never had a problem with it. And I know it was like, but snaps, and they're pushing that, and this is conspiracy. It's like, just go back into the whole... Don't worry about it. This is just a bug. I was not able to reproduce it. It works on 1704 on our Tipsy Danger box business. Do you typically install... I mean, I installed the FlatHub repo.
Yeah.
That's probably not the correct terminology. They've changed the terminology for all reason.
Yeah, no, I also installed FlatHub, but I don't think I've ever installed either a Snap or a Flatpak. But I do have a couple of app images lying around.
App images get stuff done. Okay.
Oh yeah.
When you need to try something.
Oh, you just set it to executable and it runs.
You just described my almost the exact experience I had the first time. App image. Okay, what's this? Chmod plus X. Then I just launch it. What moon future are we living in? And then, of course, the entire time I'm using the application, I do not trust it whatsoever. It's like, you're going to crash and you're going to hard lock. I'm going to have to SSH into this box.
And it gets better than that, because since it's just a CH root, basically, you can mount it as like a CD. So you can have a look at what's inside there, and you can see all the files that are there. App images, go figure.
It is truly terrifying. Okay, so what? That's a flat story, so let's keep on going with that. Linux Mint blog, man, they have went flat. Some might even go, oh snap. A couple of things. They're talking about their KDE edition, LMD3, hey, t-shirts. We're almost close enough to make those ourselves. But Flatpaks, you might have heard of Flatpak, App Image, or Snap, 3 solutions to a common problem. Duplication of effort is what old man Venn calls it, but I didn't coin that term. Yeah, they are going to be setting up the Flatpak goodness with Mint, which makes sense because Mint's based on LTS. And like, oh, okay, you know, this is a good way to get the greatest and latest on an LTS-based distro without butchering everything. They go into a wall of text to explain all of the reasoning behind this. And it's not really surprising since, you know, as for most people, Flatpaks kind of work out of the box with Ubuntu, and there's no big issues with them whatsoever. So
yeah. And it, again, it very much makes sense because Flatpaks, between like snaps and Flatpaks, the biggest one that Flatpak currently has on snaps is that Flatpak can have itself a runtime, not too dissimilar to what Steam does, but they, instead of just being those libraries and they seldom get updated, it is a Flatpak in and of itself that has all the libraries that all the other Flatpaks may or may not depend on. Now, most of those you won't be using, and it's not even installed by default. It just installs itself when you install a Flatpak that requires that runtime. So in that respect, it will be much like Steam and just about work for everyone too. And apparently Popey is saying that Snap has this too now, so yeah, there I go, talking out of my bum.
I don't know. I mean, it's cool. A lot of people are, maybe to a point, kind of an unfair point, shying away from snaps because of Mir.
It makes sense considering, you know, Canonical on the edge of their IPO, they said no, that's dead.
I don't know, man. Then I got just too much love for Canonical because sometimes they go out and do stuff. Sometimes it is duplication, but sometimes it's moonshot stuff that, hey, they got the money to do and other companies just don't. So
yeah, that's also one of the advantages of having
one of the
a big
advantages of
company
Linux is choice. You know, we've been living with, you know, Debs, RPM, start.gzs, whatever Arch uses. I don't know.
I think it's just XZ files.
Well, I mean, that's Slackware, man, so
yeah.
Slackpaks. Good.
It's just XZip files that they work anywhere.
Kind of like you, man. I don't really use snaps other than I installed something and I was like, oh, that's neat, and I uninstalled it. And it's like, well, it works. I might have launched it somewhere in between that. I think I installed like OpenCiv SDL2 version or something like that, just to test it out. I still use just PPAs, way too many PPAs.
I have a few of those, yes.
So, good on Mint, and you know, if you want to use snaps or if you want to use Flatpaks, app images, that's cool. It's going to sort itself out one way or the other. So
we'll be here waiting.
Are you feeling a little bit paranoid?
A little bit?
A little bit?
Well, then again, I always am. Well, I am a filthy immigrant.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you, Pedro.
Yeah. And, well, the guys behind Purism seem to really want to get rid of the management engine that drives their Core i7s and i5 laptops. So they have been going at it for a long time, actually for several months now, to get rid of it, disable it, and instead of using just a regular UEFI, they use core boot to handle all of the low-level firmware that your system needs in order to work. And, you know, fluff piece from the register aside, the big takeaway is that they got it. They got core boot running on the Skylake chipsets. Kudos to Purism. Seriously, they did it. Now, they blacklist the management engine. You can actually, they have a proof of concept, quote unquote, exploit that you can run on their laptops, and it won't work. But if you try to run it on another laptop, even if it's a very similar laptop with the exact same chip, the exact same chipset, it will work because management engine is still active. So they've demonstrably proved that it can be disabled and the system will still run after that. Now, Intel is not the only one to be guilty of putting this shady black box firmware stuff into their hardware platforms. AMD has it too. They used to call it PSP. But you may even remember that there was an effort to try to get AMD to open source PSP. They said, oh yes, it has the highest level of attention at this point. They still haven't done anything. They probably will never do anything, and let's be honest, neither will Intel with management engine. So if you want true freedom, you will have to rely on stuff like core boot or something along those lines to get rid of that teeny tiny black box when your computer starts.
It's like one of the things I'm thinking of is if you're going through this, is your PC air gapped?
Yeah.
For total security, I agree with Intel. And they're like, it's not a purposeful backdoor, and okay, maybe they're saying that at DEF CON 2018 DEF CON, they're going to be blowing some more holes in it. And Intel's walk back, but it's really good for deployment. And I understand that you did something stupid on purpose and you didn't lock it down well enough.
Yep, people saw it, and now they're taking chunks out of it, quite literally.
And I fully understand and support the ability to own your own hardware and not have any black boxes inside of anything that you bought and you paid money for, and I get it. That said, Purism totes a front for the NSA.
Not feeling that conspiracy theory at all.
No, not at all. Totally, I am kidding, Purism, and that's just too easy of a joke to make. And now I'm just envisioning someone at Purism going, "Oh, expletive deleted. How did he know? No." Our cover's blown and they just disappear. That good on them. I mean, just 100% good on them. And Purism, I mean, they even have hardware switches on their cameras. So if you,
they are trying. They're still using core boot, and much like Narlin points out, yes, it still has proprietary blobs, but it's still a better alternative to Microsoft's UEFI. Because make no mistake, Microsoft were the ones pushing UEFI.
Oh, Microsoft, if they had had their way, you could only be able to boot the Microsoft.
Yep.
And, Microsoft, you try sometimes, but so much of your DNA is just tied into being buttheads.
Lockdown bullcrap.
My vocabulary is limited on Wednesdays. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I could explain that a lot better, but with a lot more profanity.
Expletives. Lots and lots of expletives.
So we finally got a name. What's in a name, Pedro? Apparently it's bionic and it's beavers.
Oh, God. There's a porn movie out there called that. Come on. That can't be the only one. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of the people behind that name, the ones that actually said, you know what, that's a good name for a distribution, they are aware of that, and they're just, going with it for the lols.
Oh, come on. What was the Fedora glorious hot dog face or something like that?
Spherical cow?
No.
And
it was Beefy Miracle. Beefy Miracle.
Beefy Miracle, yes.
I mean, listen, okay. All right. Canonical. You're cool. Beefy Miracle, Bionic Beaver. Okay. You don't want to like look up any what's the fan art
Don't
stuff.
type that into Google image search with safe search off, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, fanfic of that, stay away. But then again, you could be the first distribution with fanfic.
Yeah, they already have it. You know they have it. It's a pretty big distro. They have it. They have to have it.
Aardvarks, man. That's all I got to say. Aardvarks. 1804 LTS. That's going to be its name, Bionic Beaver. So we have to wait until April 26th. And that's still a long time away, Pedro.
Yeah, no. April is going to be a long time. There's bound to be someone, Strider, who's going to be running the beta at some point, and maybe they'll be able to let us know how that goes, Strider. Just saying.
Possibly. I'm going to stick with 1704 until a lot of people, when it's like, hey guys, give it a month, give it 1710, give it a shakedown, let the brave souls know, like, you don't know what you're talking about, everything's broke now. And that's just to be expected with anything, because it's just nightmare fuel. Can you imagine doing your own distribution and trying to even remotely? I mean, if you have a 90% success rate, doing good.
I did kind of sort of help a rolling release distribution at one point.
The one that you drove out of business. We all remember, Pedro. Now,
Admittedly,
Bionic
it
Beaver,
drove itself out of business.
I gotta say, Bionic Beaver, I would have also accepted Belligerent Barista.
Yeah, Belligerent Barista is a pretty good one.
Thought that would have been good.
No, all the ones I can think of are dirtier than Bionic Beaver.
See,
Come on.
Pedro, my brain was doing good. It was not in that mode until you said dirtier. Then it was like, oh, that's an option. Then I just went down the
Yeah, no, those are the only ones going through my mind right now. So, Canonical, what have you done to me?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to another LTS. That will be good. Do we have one more in here? Or...
Oh yes, we got two more.
Two more. Okay, what's up? Let's see.
We have the first one, which is the audiobook listener, player, whatever you want to call it.
Well, okay, all right.
Desktop.
What's your option? Audiobook reader? Go ahead, release that for me.
See, that's what I was going to say, and then I stopped myself. It's like, no, it's not. You're not reading anything. You're listening to it. So I guess player, it'll have to be. It is called Cozy. I see what they're going for there, and Ubuntu says that it's a promising new audiobook player for Linux desktops. So yeah, they basically give you a little bit of why you'd want to listen to audiobooks. And they say that we haven't really had a dedicated audiobook player because, yes, you could use a regular standard audio player like Rhythmbox, VLC, what have you, to play your audiobooks, but they are missing some functionality. And when I compared this to, say, VLC, well, let's see. No read-along. Yeah, you don't get that option in either this one or VLC. You don't get M4A or M4B. Well, VLC will sort of play M4A if it's in the right mood and it's the right release version. But there's also no Audible compatibility. The .aa files, the Audible audiobooks, those are loaded with DRM, so they don't work. There is no support for the MPRIS spec, which if you are at all concerned about audio on Linux, chances are you've probably had a read at what MPRIS does for your system, and that's part of the magic as to how Pulse Audio will let you have one audio stream going out of one device and another to another device, and individually control the sound levels and the balance between the two on whatever audio device you're outputting that stream to. So it is very important to have that be compliant with your audiobook player. Because let's say if people are listening with headphones on, they are just sitting at their PC doing something, but then they want to get up and walk away, do something else. The moment you switch to another audio sync, it just goes dead.
Right, but how many times are you trying to multitask with audio?
Admittedly, not many
Realistically,
times.
you might have something going on while you're playing a video game, preferably this
Yes,
podcast.
but it's
We've heard it
mostly
improves
like
gaming performance by up to 30%.
it is. Yes, don't have Chrome playing YouTube videos like I do. Your games will not perform well.
Yeah, ultimately, if I'm listening to something in the background, I'm old school. It's in the background somewhere on a speaker on one of my Sonoses throughout the house. First world problems.
Now, to be fair, just a quick ad. They do say that Cozy will support most of these in the near future, so they have that going for them.
Right, and check it out. I mean, if you get a bunch, have they ever done audiobooks on Humble?
I don't know about audio, but I think they had one as one of the tiers. But they do have the book bundle, which may or may not include some audiobooks every now and then.
I mean, all the power to anyone who does audiobooks. I got halfway through doing one and gave him back the money, and just like, no, that's not going to happen. That's really cool. It's currently only available, and you got to build it yourself. You got to roll your own. Wicked easy to do, but they know that could be difficult for Arch users, so it's in the AUR. So you will be able to get it there prepackaged. No worries on that. Now, piece de resistance.
Yeah, last one of the news. So, well, you probably, if you've been listening to the show for a while, we know we like ourselves some open source hardware. And, well, we have one that is truly open source in the way that it's...
Definitely looks the part.
Yeah, it looks very, very janky. So this is the MNT Reform, which is a DIY portable computer. And they didn't just say, like, here's a chipset, here are the 3D printer files, print your own shell. No.
I think this is the picture we were talking about before we went live.
Yeah.
Like, I have a Dell business class laptop from the early 2000s like that.
Yeah, no, that totally looks like the most recent ones would be the Dell E6400s. You look one of those up on Google Image Search and it's like, oh, you could probably kill a few people with that. Neat. But yeah, no, they actually give you several options as to how you can go about building your own MNT laptop. And you can have actual physical mechanical switches. You can 3D print your own caps. You can have whatever keyboard layout you want. You can use old keyboards and just appropriate parts of those to run the
I don't know,
the
man.
SoC.
I mean, my inner hipster's like, if you break something like that out, all right, here's the legitimate problem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm just going to go ahead and say that if you're listening to the audio version, think like an old RISC-based Apple laptop, like one of the old school ones. It's kind of what you're looking at, but it looks like maybe it's been reassembled, because I would give this project, great looking project, fun-wise. I don't know about actual aesthetics, but
Yeah.
solid 9 out of 10 on good luck getting this through the TSA scale.
I mean, if you slap like a Dell Precision E6400 sticker on it, that will probably look the part.
No, then they're just going to steal it. It's a TSA, man. Come on.
But yeah, they actually go through all the things. Check out the link in the show notes, and admittedly, some of them do look good. I like the one with the half-transparent keys with the very slight illumination behind it. That does look neat. But it is the peak DIY jank when it comes to DIY laptops.
I like stuff like that, though, man. Again, just don't take it through airports, kids. This is ARM-based. This is not x86, right?
Yes. This is ARM, yeah. You can even see the teeny tiny SoC when compared to a Euro coin halfway down the page.
That's pretty neat, man. Did they got to give a parts list and what's it going to cost? Or
No, and they do say it's part of the thing. It's use your own old hardware, like old keyboards you may have lying around, old cases for like old micro PCs from back in the 80s, early 90s. Yeah, they do that, and most of the other parts you can always find them from the Raspberry Pi, because look, it's a screen that connects to an ARM board. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. I
Yeah.
would say good on them. Do you know who is really, really neat, Pedro?
Well, we don't have Jordan on this week, so I don't know.
As much as you two love each other, I don't believe I've ever heard you call each other neat. No. What I'm talking about are the beautiful people who make this show possible, and that's you. You make us loud, live, independent, so we can get away with our silly nonsense, and we hope we're able to deliver back a little bit of value to you. How's everyone supporting us, man?
Well, they have several ways of supporting us. If you happen to find yourself at linuxgamecast.com and you hit the support button, you have a Patreon, you have Amazon affiliate links, you have an Amazon wish list in case you don't want to give us money.
You better bring up that new egg link. That was an arduous process to go through.
Yes, I will bring it up. But in case you don't want to give us money directly, you can buy us some hardware for us to play with, just to, get Strider angry. That's always a plus. And you also have the Newegg affiliate link, which Venn, as he pointed out, was very, very proud to have gotten working. And it works. We know that it works now. So thank you all who did already make some purchases from Newegg using our affiliate link. You lot are awesome. And it doesn't cost you anything, similar to the Amazon ones. You just do your regular purchasing and we get a teeny tiny bit off the top.
Pretty cool. If you do increase your pledge or become a new patron at patreon.com/LinuxGamecast, we get to talk and say kind of nice things about you. And,
kind of. I mean, we won't promise to say that we will be really nice.
But hey, listen, you're kind of underselling it though, man. Because if you hook us up with that patron, man, this is what I'm talking about. We can give you something back. You can get access to our Discord.
Oh, yeah.
We got a bunch of people. Beautiful party patrons, we like to call them, and they're chatting.
They're talking about hardware too.
6 days a week, video chat, audio chat, and all that fun stuff. And that's also a place where I hang out. I'm usually there with the rest of us. I've lost track of the dribble, but you get your customized RSS feed, so you can hear anything that we do kind of off the record, stuff that does not necessarily need to be public, but, kind of hush-hush. And
you get a look behind the curtain, and it's
you get to see the sausage being made, and sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, wish list. I don't like calling it a wish list. This thing...
It's something which we will inevitably at some point buy.
This is the shopping list. Well, you'll notice that it goes up and down regularly, and you're like, wait a minute. Shouldn't we have some more names on Frank's wall? No.
Yeah, speaking of which, didn't someone forget to add their name to a purchase this
Well,
week?
they did. We kind of got a mystery person. I do apologize. What I was trying to finish that off is... I'll put it on the list and I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to buy it. So that might be one of our problems, but yeah, let me see if I have that loaded up. Do I have it loaded up? Oh, I have it loaded up because I received...
It will be in post-production.
This. Oh, oh, will it, Pedro? Am I going to do that in post? How about I do it in real time? Where's your flying spaghetti monster now, son? That's right. Got the picture loaded up. We got some new audio noodles. They were on there in preparation for the new
fancy cables
mixer that we'll hopefully be picking up pretty soon. We didn't get a name, so if this is you, let us know. The company gave me 50 wet stinky American bucks. Can't be used in Euroland stores, so enjoy your new strangulation possibilities.
Woohoo!
That's what I'm talking about, and that's what I like to hear. I sent you a thank you note. We're going to do our best not to Carradine ourselves, but, we can't pinky swear on that because, sometimes things happen. And let's see. I think that's it. Oh, if you could share the show, that'd be awesome. Here's all the beautiful party patrons, 106 currently, and all the fun stuff.
229 wet stickies.
Yeah, you let us do a couple of shows a week. That's cool. We Zombie Stomping Tuesday. Come check us out. Join in with that. And there's Pedro. He's poking Infinity. You get access to the pre super shows on Saturday. One thing I want to mention for those still listening, because some people have skipped over this, and they're going to be missing out. Let me see. Where was this week's? On this post, Linux Gamecast Weekly 270. Assemble My Own Rabbit. On this one. Why is this?
There's a way of give.
we're giving away not one, not two, but 3 copies of Layers of Fear, which, if you're easily scared and you really like doors, probably the perfect game for you. If you're a patron, just go to that section. All we have to do, it's spooky Halloween. All you have to do is leave a comment on that post with your worst Windows experience. A terrifying, horrifying, petrifying Windows experience, up to and including just having to look at the dang thing. And the top 3, by whatever metric that we'll end up using to judge them, could be the entertaining ones or the truly horrifying ones, you'll get a copy of Layers of Fear Steam key too. So no GOG or anything like that. Thanks everyone for supporting this. Let's get into a couple of slices of pie, Pedro.
Yes.
Pumpkin pie, check it out. Oh, it's 'tis the season. You know, actually saw pumpkin spice.
Pie.
Pumpkin spice. It's like, we've gone
It's
full
a pumpkin
circle.
pie.
All right. Coming to you from ZDNet Raspberry, Microsoft comes up with a cool idea to stop it overheating. 3D printable design keeps the Raspberry Pi 3 cool, even when running at full throttle for lengthy periods. 4 posts and a fan, maybe?
So yeah, there are 2 Raspberry Pis, or a Raspberry Pi and an add-in board to drive the monitor, with a teeny tiny little fan and a heat spreader.
I don't know. I can't figure out what bothers me more about this. Like, really?
It's like, really?
Or that they
it's
were
a mount.
proud enough.
It's the fan mount. Oh yes.
They were
because
proud
that was
enough of this,
completely
Pedro.
obvious.
They were proud
Yes.
enough of this to try to get some publicity out of it.
Fan mount, Microsoft. Really?
That is genuine. Listen, hey, good. Thanks for releasing that, but that really does have all the flavorings and smells and of like a hated intern being put on a project. Here, go do something. Have you ever had any problems with your pies overheating?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Then again, I never really did anything that was constantly
There
demanding
you go.
100%.
See, that was my exact logic train on that. It was like, but have I ever done anything computationally intensive?
Yeah.
It's like, no. No.
No. I guess we'll have Linux Nuru let us know on some feedback next week.
Quite possibly. I mean, we were talking in Discord, and just, I mean, I got to thinking, I don't think I've ever run an X session on a Raspberry.
I have run an X session on a Raspberry Pi, just a regular default LXDE one, but I have.
Oh, Steve has a very, very valid point.
They had to overclock it to run Windows. Fair enough.
Because as most people try to forget, I'm surprised not including Microsoft, Windows 10 is available for Raspberry Pis. I mean,
I think Microsoft wants people to forget about that.
I kind of want an RT tablet.
Why?
Because Microsoft is like 100% scorched earth. Like, we never made those. What are you talking about? Those don't exist.
I know that Nori's mom has one of those because it was pretty cheap for teachers at one point, and then they realized, oh wait, no one wants these. But she had already bought hers, so
it's like a trophy of failure. That's why I want to frame it and see. Example A, don't do this.
If all you're doing is running Office, and that's all she's doing for the most part, it works.
Don't know. Still kind of want one. Wouldn't pay for one though. No, so don't. No offers there. It is just in time for Thanksgiving. Steampunk tentacle hat. Why is it steampunk? Because look, there's a steam thing behind it.
Mm-hmm. And that is about it. Now, I looked at it and I thought, a few more tentacles, make it slightly bigger. Maybe go to Minnesota and chat about...
Pedro, you don't need... No bedroom talk.
Maybe go chant, do a weird chant about how one of the old ones rests in his place in R'lyeh. Yeah, maybe invoke the almighty Cthulhu.
Well, as Arthurian says, hentai hat.
That was the obvious one, and I should have seen that one coming considering what I said about the bionic beaver. My bad. I failed you tonight. I'm sorry.
That's a it's a thing. It's good that people listen. It's always I have to think. Always say it's good that it exists. It's good that the technology exists to do really whatever you want, even if it's bizarre stuff like this. Because I know I've made some bizarre inventions that, if they could talk, would currently be screaming "kill me." And,
oh God!
Right,
Please just kill me.
I've made so many Rick and Morty butter robots. Like, what is my? I was bored, man. Let's just be honest. That's all it is. And good. And did it say what type of Pi he was using? Was it a Pi Zero or?
I'm guessing probably a Pi 3 to drive all the servos, but yeah, you could probably, if you have the programming chops, you could probably use just a 0. Yeah, it looks like a Pi 3 from the picture. It doesn't specify.
Well, if you have anything ooky, spooky, Linux related and or Pi related, let us know about it by heading over to linuxgamecast.com. Hit the contact button, and it is up and working. We have pretty simple rules. I mean, primarily the older rules, no spam and stuff like that. But if you're going to be plugging something, read them and do that. Select the right category. This is LWDW for that. Or, it's a relationship advice, which we give out on the gaming show on Saturdays. If that is your thing, do the CAPTCHA. You can multiply. Hopefully you can, because something I learned about myself is I've forgotten my multiplication tables once I entered.
You can't math no more.
That was very sad. And, you use it, you lose it, right? And
yeah, it's a muscle like every other, so if you don't practice it, you're going to be bad.
And it wasn't gone to the point, it was gone to the point where the impression was still, it was like, you used to know this, you used to not have to go 5, 6, 7, 8. After I ran out of figures, I was like, screw this, where's calculator? And yeah, I learned that when I was testing, because we did some upgrades on the back end of the site, and the mailer kind of went wonky on me for a few hours. And so that's the thing. Let us know. Send us that. We live off of your emails. I think we have, what, 2 this week?
Yes, 2 tiny bits of feedback. One is actually a question. Clyde the Weeaboo. He asks, could someone pretty please point me to a simple guide to network my Linux PCs? And that question left me a bit bewildered. Like, what do you mean? A GUI would be useful. Okay, id Samba the only option? Well, now that you mentioned Samba, I think I know what you're talking about. You want to set up a net...
No, listen, man. id quit supporting Linux. With
I
mean, what do you think?
To the point where Carmack at one point even worked for Bethesda. The ones that actively hate Linux. So yeah, no, it's so he's asking if Samba is the only option for setting up a network of, I'm assuming, shared drives for your Linux boxes.
I was about to say, really, all you need is an Ethernet cable.
Yeah. No, it isn't. And well, it really comes down to what you want to use. There's probably a GUI for Samba out there somewhere. I haven't really used a GUI to set it up.
Wait a minute. I don't know if it would count as GUI. I'm pretty sure Samba's got a web interface.
Yes, it does.
That you can localhost. Well, just run off the...
Yep. Yeah, it does. And you can also use the... if you have an SFTP drive that's visible to your local network, you can just SFTP or even SSHFS, Samba. If you have a drive that's visible to your network, you can probably use Thunar, Nautilus, Caja, what's the KD1 Dolphin. You could probably just use those and find the network location and just put in the IP address, and it should find it with the appropriate port, assuming.
I typically run Samba because you never know what else you're going to need to connect to that. Well, I'm talking about Just for the file server.
Yeah, and if you do have Windows devices on that same network, Samba will let you have those network shares available to the Windows devices as well. Something which SSHFS doesn't have. And since I didn't used to have any Windows installs in this house, now I do because Nori's going to university, so that one doesn't get to see the network drives anymore because I'm not even going to worry about it. Everything is set in SSHFS, and I'm not going to touch it.
I'll back up SSHFS. If you just need to get something done, I call it quick and dirty networking. If I need a temporary communication noodle between one box to another, that's how we're going to get that done. Samba is basically set up for rsync. If you're wondering, my XFCE4 brother in Thunar supports it out of the box, even though you wouldn't know it by Google searching.
No, it's amazing what Thunar actually supports.
You have to discover it. I mean, it's very much gamified as in poorly documented.
It's like, it's your experience, your Thunar.
So, last but not least, Tuxedo Computers.
You know, the insane people who actually let me have their laptop for a month.
They wrote us back, and to be fair, not to really talk about it, they were a lot nicer than the other computer company.
Oh, yeah. Much nicer. So Tuxedo wrote back and they left us a comment on the YouTube video review, and they have 2 points to add. The bezel has to be as big as the keyboard is way bigger, wider than it is regularly with 13.3-inch laptops. They decided to go with the bigger bezel because, well, they wanted to make the keyboard junkies happy. I know what you're doing there. I see your point, and that was probably the best answer you could have come up with. And the second point was actually something I mentioned in the written review, which was maybe when I have the money to afford one of their laptops, because they're nice laptops, but they're a bit expensive, maybe Coffee Lake will be available by then.
That's a very important thing you to go ahead and throw out there, Pedro. Like, I bet you're getting a free laptop. We don't get free laptops. We got to send them back.
Free laptops. Most of the other laptops, all the other laptops, I had them for 2 weeks, so I had to be very concise in my tests and make sure I got them right in as many or as least few tries as possible. But with this one, well, they let me keep it for a month, so I got to play with it some more.
They clearly had one in the office that had like a weird odor to it, and they just wanted to get it aired out.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, it was a genuinely good laptop. It's not cheap, but it is sturdy, it is light, the keyboard is not terrible, so good on you. And yes, the bezel is big, which is something I mentioned in the video. There's a really big bezel, a really big plastic bezel around it.
I kind of agree with you, man. I mean, once you have something like nice, super slim, sexy, listen, man, I'm not like laptop shaming, so no hashtags on that. And you open it up, and you don't have like a near bezel-less.
Yeah, like the Dell XPS 13. Yeah. But hey, no, it does have a bezel. It's plasticky. It's one of the things I complained about the most, and I guess they had the right answer for it. In order to have a decent keyboard, we had to have a bigger bezel, and okay, fair enough.
That's the thing. That's going to do us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've been beautiful. You've been real. Thanks for showing up, watching us live. If you're listening to us after the fact, do like to say, what is it? Smash that like button, fam, on the YouTubes.
Yeah,
I
something like that. I honestly don't watch those channels anymore.
You don't ever have to watch those channels because you can tell by the thumbnails not to. If you're listening, there's a video component. Come check that out. It's a podcast. So we're not doing too bad. We get about 5,100, 5,200 last time I looked a week on downloads.
That's sizable for this
something that we never promote.
Midweek show that we decided to do because people were giving us money.
Well, that's exactly what I love about this show. Is this show, if you don't know, if you're new to the show, is and was and still is a Patreon goal.
Oh,
and
yes.
It's like everyone wants us to do this, and we hit this
Go
goal.
figure.
It's us. We don't know how not to do something, even though it's usually a bad idea. We just keep charging on. We've been doing this for over a year now. And probably you give us like another 2-3 years, we'll kind of sort of have some idea what we're doing. 5 years in Linux Gamecast, just getting our feet under us. So to keep that in mind. Pedro, where can the beautiful people see you on the internet?
You can find me by just typing Pedro Mateos on Google, and I'm right below the images. The first 2 links, that's me. One's my Twitter, the other one's my Google Plus.
Let's see. I am just at Venn Stone.
Yes.
I don't even put the at. Just type in Venn Stone because I'm all internet famous and stuff. Not really. But Google knows who I am because I use it a lot.
Yeah, it's getting kind of scary. Someone actually brought it up at work. Oh yeah, you're one of the first results when I googled your name. Oh,
is that not? I don't know. It's just maybe because I've been on the internet so long. Is that not normal? I always just assume.
No, it's not normal.
Okay.
I was kind of sort of enjoying the random internet anonymity thing.
You are such an attention whore. There is no way.
No. I may look like an attention.
I have 5 years of video evidence. You do not want to tango
yes,
with me.
that's because I want to, have people at least seem like
Hey,
they're
let's
interested.
cue those credits.
Yeah. No, these people, besides us, there's Venn, and there's me, and
Shadow Dynamic.
Yes. Now we get on
Executive producers, baby.
The lovely people who actually give us money. Yeah,
Regular
these
producer.
people, they're awesome. They are the...
You got to work on your English, because I like whoring ourselves out, but give us support the show, man.
No, give us money.
It's just like, I back 5 projects on Patreon right now myself, and I was like, I give you money. I was like, no, dude, I support these guys. I was like, I would give them money. Unless you just like that. That's cool. All right, make it rain. Come on, dance. Give me a pole. I'll go to town. It'd be kind of brilliant. Everyone's beautiful. Down
Yep.
fire. Click, and we're out. Let's see. What do we do that in?
Oi, that's the line I plagiarized out of an old forum that I used to frequent.
What's that?
There's bending the rules, and then there's violating them anally with a steak tenderizer.
Oh, I created mine, so.
I remember someone using that in that forum I used to visit, because there was someone trying to excuse a quote-unquote friend of theirs from getting banned from said forum, because, oh yeah, there are rules, so he bent the rules a little bit. And one of the moderators literally went, well, there's bending the rules, and then there's violating them anally with a steak tenderizer. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm using that. That's going to be my signature for every single forum I ever register to from now on.
I don't know, man. I heard last night something I wanted a bumper sticker. It said, "May the bridges that you've burned light your way."
I would have a very lit path right now. I've burned quite a few.
I don't know. I don't ever go out of my way to do anything. I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to be any construct or variation of, like, hey, look, I'm putting on an act to try to entertain people. I dance monkey dance. Listen, I know how to do that,
Yes.
but
We dance.
I'm not. I can't put on an act. Doesn't work. Wouldn't come across as very genuine.
I mean, the only act I put up is that I actually talk. Because if you find me out there in the real world, chances are I will be quieter. Much quieter.
I'm just having a hard time imagining you quiet.
It's really not that hard.
See, I assume by that you just mean you let Nori talk.
She does most of the talking, yes.
Yes.
It's kind of one of the reasons I love her. That way, she does the talking, and I don't have to say anything.
Oh, dude, that comes across frighteningly close to it. Sounds like you're dating her for background noise.
No. I'm dating her because I love her. And if we're in a social situation and I don't feel like talking to people, she does, and yeah. I feel like I've accomplished my social dues there by not talking to people.
I always have to talk to people. Usually when I'm out in public, I'm having to deal with people, so...
Yeah, if I'm by myself, sure, I'll talk.
I don't mind it. I don't know. I've been up on stages and stuff close to like 12 or 13 years, so what else?
I was on a stage apologizing for the delay at one point, and then I ran backstage again.
I was on stage one time in fishnets and high heels, singing about being a
Just
sweet
one
transvestite.
time?
Oh, all right, 9 times. So I'm saying, no shame, man. I don't care if it's for comedy and you get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I said, man. Let's get my hat. That's why I broke the cigar, man. I like it. And you better believe, like normally, I'm in a 2-piece, sometimes a 3-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Dressed reasonably nice. I'm wearing this hat. This hat's coming along. It's going for the ride.
Smart dress with a toque. Huh.
Absolutely.
So you're from Canada, eh?
I'm not mean enough to be a Canadian. I mean, all I know about
Only
Canadian...
when hockey is involved.
It's just from Sandy and Jordan are the only thing I know about Canada. Is like both of them, wouldn't want to tango with either of them.
I mean, I think we managed to pick the two.
We found them.
Yeah. It's like, two biggest assholes in Canada. But there we are.
Sandy, don't listen to him.
No, Sandy is awesome. But yeah, you know, Sandy is great. If you ever want to do a show and you want someone to immediately pull their shirt off, Sandy.
Hey man, I'd pull my shirt off, but I don't actually want to break the white balance in the camera.
No, that's not possible. That's not a human being.
It'll just freeze. It'll brick it. Then I'd have to use this one. Does Gallium work? Oh, yeah. Lipstick V? Yeah, lipstick, you name it, man. It's been there, done that. T-shirts. What was it? Oh, Observer, right. Observer does kind of sort of work with AMD open source drivers. Just don't expect much.
I mean, yeah. The performance of the driver itself is not really there, and, well, that game doesn't really work well, even on NVIDIA proprietary, so...
Oh, come on. Well, that's because you still got that old crusty 1080.
Yeah, no. I need a Titan XP.
Apparently. I mean, it kind of almost hit 60.
It holds 60 through some corridors where not much is happening. Then you look at a puddle with some reflections and, there it goes. Right. Okay.
Oh. Live screening.
And yes, Gallium does work on NVIDIA. And if you have an old For Me card, like the 400 and the 500 series, you can do Gallium 9. The performance is even worse than it is on AMD, but it's there. It does DirectX 9 natively on Linux.
But fortunately, Observers doesn't look like a game that requires you to move a whole lot.
Yeah, it seems to be very geared towards the special effects type of thing, the things that you do that cause set pieces to happen. Yeah, the Gallium is the actual driver for AMD and NVIDIA cards. Then there's Intel's i965 and i915.
Popey needs friends. Please. For as little as one friend a day, you can add Popey to your Steam.
You know what, Popey? I'll add you.
I mean, I'll accept. Not because I'm a snob. I'm just lazy.
And Strider, yes, is the answer to that question.
Where are we at? 15 degrees. So, yeah, it's after 4 p.m., the hottest part of the day.
Outside is a bit colder than it is in here. I don't know what the temperature is inside, but outside right now, 10 degrees.
10's manageable. Like I said, I went running this morning and it was 6.
Well, I would add you, Popey, but I don't think the Steam community domain wants anything to do with me right now.
Yeah, Mir, it was like 108 somewhere in California, I weigh. It's 108 freedom units, so...
Around 38,
that's like
39,
40,
40-ish.
That's tapping 40.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't have my freedom calculator. Well, I do. I just don't feel like opening Google.
Something about the boiling temperature of, what was it?
I think water's 100.
Yeah, water is 100 Celsius, but the Fahrenheit one is...
Oh.
Variable.
Just pull the trigger, man. I don't know.
It's something stupid. But yeah, it was 40 Celsius for 2 days. Yeah. That's Portugal level temperatures during the summer.
That's just like, nope. I'll see that when they're doing like the world globe of the weather, like on Sky in the morning. I'll be watching this. I was like, oh yes, and it's 43. I was like, oh, no, it's not. Because I'm nowhere near that. That place might as well not exist. People live there, like, on purpose.
Okay, there you go, Popey. There's a friend request.
What? No, we don't have a temperature bot. We used to have a temperature bot in IRC.
Oh, there's a decent enough weather app on Android. It's called WT.
Dude, there's the ultimate app on Android because I couldn't find one that just gave me the damn temperature, so I made one. Using the little code block Google thing.
Yeah. WT forecast. It's like, what the forecast?
That's pretty good. Everyone I downloaded the Weather Channel. Was like, join our social network. Because it's like, why is this thing like 45 megs for a weather app? And it has all this other...
Yeah, this one gives you the weather with some sass.
Even WeatherBug has junk in it. It's like, all I need is a temperature indicator. Fortunately, easy enough to make. Simple enough for me to do it, so yeah. Easy.
Yeah, that's how it makes sense if you're using the standard the international system units. Because, yeah, 1 cubic centimeter of water is 1 liter. That's 1 centimeter wide. And it is 1 degree rise, 1 joule of energy. Yeah, it makes sense.
Let's see if I can do that. I do that. I do that. There ends our forecast. So, yeah, I broke down because for some reason Charter decided to put my move me a couple hundred miles north, so the geolocation wasn't working. So I had to like break out latitude and longitude and sea level height. I had to get that right too. Barrowman always wins, son. I would even.
No, sorry. 1 cubic centimeter of water is not 1 liter. Talking out of my ass. It's 1 cubic decimeter of water is 1 liter.
You gotta check out this business in America, man. 67 fluid ounces, 2 quarts, 3.6 fluid ounces, 2 liters. This is required here. This is a melting pot of
ounces, and then there's the inches, feet,
thermo inch, thermo feet. Yeah.
No, it's absolutely terrible.
I mean, fortunately, I was just on the tail end of like just getting into grade school, and like this is what a mile per hour thing is, and some places still have things posted miles per hour. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yep, every single road sign here.
Okay, yeah. When you're living in the sticks, ladies and gentlemen, Cambridge.
Yeah, no, you. If I wanted to bring my car over, I would need to have either a sticker on the dash to have the miles per hour, or actually change the speedometer units to miles per hour.
Seems legit.
It's that, it's the mirrors, and the headlights, I think. Those are the things I need to change on my car.
Well, if I ever move back to the island, I'm just selling cars, man. No reason to pretend I'm not taking anything with me. Penetration. Oh, wow, that's a folder I haven't opened in a while. Not as kinky as it sounds. I'm just looking for like old audio stuff.
Temperature rise calculation based on input energy. Well, you'd need to know the mass of the molecules, how much the thermodynamics.
In this podcast, we obey the laws of the thermodynamics. Yeah?
I remember a point in time where there were the Gregorian chant.
Inertia, if you could figure out how to get turbojetta out of freedom units on the thermometer, I'd be very happy, because even with my, I call it the VTEC, just kicked in, yo, is its label. But the BAGCOM, it'll only do freedom units, which it's like, oh look, it's 90 degrees outside. I was like, shouldn't things be on fire?
I had one course of thermodynamics. I got through it. Didn't get a particularly good grade at it, but I got through it.
I was good in maths only because I didn't figure out the game until it was too late. I was good because I studied my ass off, because I sucked at it. I was like, wait a minute. I won't end up in any more advanced classes if I start ballsing up a couple of these, which it did. Mm-hmm. Once you get to like abstract algebra 2, and you're like, what the fuck's wrong? And it's like something just went wrong in your life.
I, at one point, found myself in numerical analysis, which is kind of an ironic name because you rarely ever get to deal with numbers. There's just letters all over those equations. It's like, what the no! Stop!
No. Even in university, like advanced lit comps and stuff like that, I took because it was a really good, easy way to get credits. I was like, yeah, we were gonna. I was like, you guys are gonna give me points because I can read. All right, I'll take a few of these.
Oh no, I got through that master's degree, and I'm just glad I had Skyrim at the time to kind of make me forget just about everything I wrote for my dissertation.
Man, Skyrim could be coming back into our lives, people.
Yeah, yeah. And on Linux, go figure.
Bowling. Man, if they had offered bowling, I would have taken the shit out of some bowling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Let's see, what were the easy credits ones? Well, the easiest credits for me in university were operating systems, because the professor had this brilliant idea. Like, very first class, oh, it's impossible to have macOS, Linux, and Windows running on one computer. Just a regular PC that you can buy off the shelf. No it isn't. Okay, then you bring me your laptop that you have there to me tomorrow with all three installed, and you'll pass. The very next day, there you go. Oh. Okay. So what grade do you want? Which one don't I have to justify come time for actual final grades? This much? That it is.
You did that, I built the volleyball team's web zone.
Yeah, no, the web design class was also really easy credits.
Oh, this had nothing to do with web design. It so happened that this guy was also the volleyball coach. And we worked out a deal. Which basically involved me not attending. It was sketchy enough to where I was wondering if he was going to come through on his end.
Oh no, she didn't come through on her end. It's the end of the semester, I went to check out the grades, and there it was, a 16 out of 20. Hey.
Let's see. So Jordan is back in Canada, so we'll be doing something tomorrow. I don't know what. I need to make a template for Cards Against Huge Entities. We need to do that. I need to make a template, or empty, if you got any ideas. And we need to do one for Google Food.
Yes.
The Google one, we can do with the scores and everything, but we're going to have enough people to where I am not on it. I'm just genuinely sitting here running the board, keeping track of the scores and everything. Not
yes, you will still be in Canada on Saturday.
Yeah, he will have escaped his Skype box of shame.
I know, I'm still here for a couple more months.
You will see his Canadian in full 16:9. He just immediately got off the flight and doused himself in maple syrup.
Home.
rolled around in ants. As is tradition.
Got bitten by a moose.
Then his sister walks up and a moose bites her. He's like, I'm home.
Oh, that looks tastier.
Everyone in Canada, his sister has been bitten by a moose. This is just a thing. It happens, man.
That did, when Jordan first said that, I thought to myself, yeah, that is a very Canadian thing to have happen to your family.
Oh, I added a new emoticon to
Oh, you want to see my backer?
It's my beak. A unishark? A unishark? What's you?
That's impossible. Not in this world.
Oh, sweet Lord, show me your pecker. Show me your pecker.
There it is. It's my beak.
Delightfully good.
Ah.
Card cast game? I mean, let's see what we got here. We're always looking for games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Dick move card cast game.
Facebook right there. Open format party game. Judge draws a call, players submit responses, picks a favorite, runs repeat. Okay, so kind of like Cards Against Humanity.
Might take a look at that.
Yeah.
Inertia, send me some hate mail with that link so I'll remember to take a look at it. Because the one we use, I mean, A, it's us, so it's janked up and Java looking as hell. I mean, it looks like the TK interface. Widget set. We might be able to work something out with that.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for stuff like that. I want to do trivia at some point. Get a bunch of people. Like I said, bear with us. Like one more month. Maybe at the end of this month we'll be able to yoink that mixer. But that's going to be able to, so we can, because you know we can open up Discord right now.
Yeah.
But it gets fucky quick.
Yep.
Because we're making our current 4-bus mixer do shit it's not supposed to do. Let's just be real. It is through the magic of Pulse Audio. We're pulling that off. But we would like to do like trivia night. Like straight up like Linux tech trivia. We can have Simpsons night, stuff like that. And actually get some teams together. Which I think would be fun. Plus it's going to make it, we can start bringing guests back on. Because we already have I've deployed a Jitsi server. That's ready to go. Once I have the access to the auto mix mine and hard limiter, I don't care. Just plug your mic in. Don't worry, little buddy. Just talk into it. I got you on this end.
Yeah. To that effect, the PR person I was talking to at Tuxedo said he would be very happy to have an interview. So that could be a thing.
We're only going to ask him about grilled cheese.
And that's the interview. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
I have zero issue doing that. If we bring him in, like, just under the pretense of talking about Tuxedo Computer, how it got started and all that, 6 questions about grilled cheese. Soon as he starts saying anything about his computer, is like, I'm sorry, what does that have to do with grilled cheese?
Are you buying cloud virtual hosting or hosting at home?
Doing it from the house, man. We repurpose things around these parts. We don't have much of a budget. And plus, turns out deploying Jitsi took like 4 hours, maybe, if I'm being generous. That was going from no idea what I'm doing to, Nginx, done, boom, out the door, ready to go, up and running.
Natasha Bard, yeah. Just keep asking her, so, how's that SDL coming along?
I'd say something mean, but I'm not, because I'm going to adult. Look, I'm adulting. This is all the adulting you're going to get out of me for some time.
So, that brick wall you hit with SDL, tell us about it in detail. And just have Iculus in the back, just listening in, not allowing him to say anything. It's a double whammy. Yeah. I too prefer to look at myself with glasses. That's why I always wear them, even though I don't technically need to.
You don't need to wear glasses?
No, not technically.
Okay. How do you technically not need to be able to see?
I can see just fine without the glasses. All these glasses do is stop.
You're just one of those hipsters.
No, see, this one could be very well a hipster lens. The left one, it's just a bit of glass. The right one is compensating for my astigmatism, which stops my brain from trying to always get my right eye to look at the thing I'm actually looking at, which after a while gives me some pretty bad headaches.
So did you have any that help out with the stigmata? The left lens stops my hands from bleeding profusely. It's like, I have stigmata.
Pretty sure you don't need glasses for that.
They put the nails through the wrist, dumbass.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's yeah. This one has a 30-degree inclination of sorts to everything I see, so that my eye can just be wherever it is comfortable and my brain not need to force it to look at the thing.
My eyes don't go until like almost 60, so
yeah, no, astigmatism is hereditary. My mom has it, my grandma has it, so I was bound to have it. My little brother has it, so yeah.
Eyes fortunately work. They're all fucky though. They're hypersensitive to light. Go figure that, right?
Yeah.
Everything else on me's broken though, so I got that going for me. Model glasses. Yeah.
No, these were very expensive fucking glasses.
I have a friend that wears fake glasses. His name's Brandon. Because he just shows up one day with glasses on. It's like, I've known you for so many. You've been wearing contacts this whole time. It's like, no, man. That's like the way this look, man. What do you think about this? You gotta be kidding me, right? You're gonna wear shit on your face intentionally that you don't need. All right, here's a Vive. It's gonna blow your mind.
But yeah, I do appreciate, because one of the things growing up that was really annoying was, one day of the week I would just get a stupid headache that I could barely function. And when I finally turned 18, went to the eye doctor, it's like, oh, you have astigmatism. And looking at your mom's glasses, so does your mom, so that explains that. Okay.
Where's the Amazon link? What Amazon?
Oh, for the RGB glasses?
No. I don't think I could.
So how much of the color can you see through the teeny tiny little holes? Because that would be a big no-no for me.
Between that, I don't know, man. There might be like a little bit of YOLO to it. It's like risk possible electrocution with voltage passing directly in front of your eye pussies. You could send that to Venn and I'll fucking send it like on the desk next to me.
Put it on the wish list.
Yeah, Steve, we've discussed about putting joke items on the wish list.
Are you not sitting on a big chair right now?
Was that a joke? No, that's a trade. That is called sacrificing a little bit of my fucking dignity for a chair. And we thank you again, Trugs.
Truggy just went, yep, just put it on there. I'll buy it for you. Right there. That's why his name is on the fuck wall. Ah.
It works.
Frank needs RGB glasses.
I don't know, man. Franco mess you up, man, if you mess with his shades. He genuinely is all teeth and nails. Like,
Well, all teeth, anyway.
all bone.
Teeth and bone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have, like, the only, let's see, I have an overhead light over the hob. That's it. Everything else is like side lit in the house where I can control it and it's all dimmable. Because I'll go fucking blind if I'm in like light, or if I'm in dark and go back and forwards between the two I can't fucking see. And that gets annoying when you're like, oh, everything's fine. You walk back inside. Yep, there's a good 10, possibly 15 minutes. Let me just find a nice empty spot here on the floor and sit down in complete darkness. Imprisoning me. All that I say. Of course you do that. You have to do that. Your brain's it's like
Yeah.
We always
Alright.
dress up for Halloween.
We should probably wrap up. I need to go make dinner. It's already past 10.
You need to say like, Nori, make dinner.
No, that's my business.
It's
I
your
cook the dinner.
business. What are you cooking tonight?
Don't know if I'll make meatballs or hamburgers.
Like,
But
when you say make meatballs, you talking about like opening the frozen meatball bag and dumping them out and...
no, I have the ground meat. I can either make meatballs or burgers. So, yeah.
You could make meatloaf.
That involves the oven.
Are you scared of the oven?
No, it's just... it takes a long time.
Impatient?
Yes.
I don't know. I like cooking, so...
I like cooking, but yeah, it takes a long time, and after it takes a long time, I get bored.
That's why, like, you need to have, like, way overcomplicated dinner plan that has so many stages on it that when somebody looks at it, like, what the hell's wrong with you? It's like, how much time you got? You definitely stay busy. Busy. Yes.
Disney, yes.
See, this is the problem with actively doing this with Pedro. He's destroying my learned ability to speak English. Slowly, it's eroding away. I can feel it. He's draining my English power from me for his own uses. It's horrifying.
Unfortunately, it's not doing me any good, so...
No, he's squandering it on hookers and blow. But all right, beautiful people, we will see you. I will probably see you tomorrow, unless Jordan might be streaming himself. If I get tied up doing some stuff, if not, we'll be streaming from here doing something. Don't know yet, because that would involve having plans, and well, you know us.
Those never work.
All right, Dadify everyone. See ya.
Bye.